The majority of the rides at Efteling either have no audio voiceover or feature subtitles to help you understand the story. One though only features a short explanation outside the ride in the queue line, which, if you're not paying attention, it is quite easy to miss. With the pre-show in Dutch, understandably since you're in Holland, the story can be hard to follow for those who don't speak it. Welcome back to Expedition Weekly and the story of Villa Volta.
Hij had alles, maar hij wou meer. Hugo van de Loonse Duinen wordt bokkenrijder. Hij plundert en rooft, maar hij gaat te ver. U wordt verwacht in Villa Volta, nu in de Efteling.
Villa Volta is a stately country house with a mysterious past. The attraction opened its doors in 1996 for its first guests, though the first plans were already considered as far back as the 1970s. The first version's idea came from Luyssens Park in Germany. This inspired Ton van der Ven, creative director of the Efteling. In 1983, the idea was brought up as an alternative to the Carnival Festival, which is essentially Efteling's version of It's a Small World. In 1998, after again being postponed, it was once again considered, but the idea of Dreamflight was chosen instead. In 1995, Efteling wanted to build an indoor coaster, but Mack Rides was unable to deliver the ride in time to open for 1996. It was finally decided to continue with the Villa Volta plan.
Mannen, we zijn er bijna!
De goud uit de kerk, dat is van ons, de bokkenrijders. Ah, het huis van Hugo!
Tom van der Ven designed the mansion and the protagonist, Hugo. Over 70 designs were considered before the Victoria mansion began construction. Originally, a Knight's Hall idea was created, but the story was eventually changed. Multiple names were also considered, such as Hugo's Nightmare. The name Villa Volta was chosen, with Volta coming from the Italian word for turning, Voltaire. The mansion itself is 11.5 meters high, 12.3 meters long, and 10.8 wide. The attraction was built by Vekoma Rides, who took care of the technical aspects of its creation, while the decoration and design department of Efteling were responsible for the finishings of the interior of the mansion. The audio animatronic of Hugo in the pre-show was produced in-house, and in March 1995 the construction on the attraction began. 1 year later, the attraction opened within the parks. Villa Volta was actually the first Vekoma Madhouse, an optical and physical illusion creating the impression you are turning upside down when in fact the room is rotating around you. Once inside the main attraction room, themed to Hugo's living room, the lap bars are lowered and you feel an odd sense of movement. The floor you are sat on can swing side to side while the room around you can rotate a full 360 degrees. I've explained how the ride works though when looking at Hex at Alton Towers, a later version of this ride concept, so here we're going to talk about the story of Efteling's original version. As you enter the house from the side, there are two small waiting areas where the story is told. The first, Hugo's barn, has stolen goods stored on wooden shelves on the wall. The story of Villa Volta is based on the legend of the Buck Riders, a fierce gang of robbers that was active in the Kempen, a section of moors and wetlands in northeastern Belgium and southeastern Holland, where Efteling is actually located. It is said they made a pact with the devil and flew through the sky on the back of goats. They would mark the doors of farms and houses where they would come and rob to warn the inhabitants.
Een bokkenpoot vervulde ieder met huiver en angst.
Villa Volta is the home of the leader of the Goat Riders, Hugo, who you see as an animatronic in the second pre-show. The house and Hugo were cursed by a mysterious woman after robbing the Abbey of Postel. A large chapel, quiet but with lights on in the windows. When inside the chapel, a hand appeared on Hugo's shoulder, a young woman with eyes full of fire. She said, "You, Hugo, thou art desecrated here this house, so repent and seek not to call the Lord's wrath on you." Overcome with fear, Hugo shoved her away and called his men to go as she dissolved into nothing. One day later, the woman appears atop his house. The woman tells Hugo, "Nowhere in your house, nor in any other place in the world will you find peace. Only when a noble man with a clear conscience like that of a newborn child enters your house will you find peace in your home and in your heart."
Dit huis, dit vervloekte huis, het is een hel gelijk. Die ene vervloekte avond in de Belgische Kempen. De zon stond laag en bezocht de bedden voor de nacht, maar van dorpen was geen spoor. Maar ineens in de verte een groot gebouw.
After this, you enter the main attraction and experience the Curse of Hugo to the iconic music by Rude Boss, who composed multiple pieces for the attraction as well as the Efteling Park, including Dreamflight, Fata Morgana, and Vogel Rock. The soundtracks of Efteling really are some of the best theme park music in the world. Over the years, the programming of the ride has slightly changed, as the off-timing of the attraction can easily cause motion sickness. Hugo has also been reprogrammed over the years since its operating, as well as receiving new masks. Although Villa Volta was the first large-scale Madhouse concept built, the technique has existed for many years, and since its opening many versions have been built by either Vekoma or Mack rides, such as Hex at Alton Towers in 2000, The Haunting at Drayton Manor which actually opened the same year as Villa Volta, or countless more around the world such as Houdini's Great Escape in the US. Over the years, Efteling has won multiple Themed Entertainment Association awards for outstanding achievements, including Villa Volta in 1997, and this is just another example of the innovative dark rides with beautiful theming that exist at the Efteling Park. As for Villa Volta, not one person without sim has seemed to have visited the mansion since 1996, as the house is still spinning. Thank you for watching this episode of Expedition Weekly. If you enjoyed it, subscribe to join us on the expedition. Efteling is one of my favourite parks in the world, and I highly encourage you to visit. Ton van der Ven has created many beautiful rides for the park, and you can see a painting of the man himself hanging next to the Hugo animatronic in the pre-show, which was added after his retirement in 2003. Which version of the Madhouse do you prefer? Let me know in the comments below, as well as where you would like to see covered next at Efteling. We will see you next time.